Yo, what's good, you guys? So today we will be doing an overview of all of the 16 personality types in MBTI. And nothing super hyper in-depth geekism, ooh la 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 la. No.
Nice.
Straightforward and kind of just summarized to have a good understanding, a general understanding, maybe for the new people who are trying to get into MBTI or something. Let's start with the ISTP personality type. They are characterized by their dedication to structure and personal sense of logic. They excel in selecting and perfecting systems or ideologies, implementing those systems and fighting for them. But here there's a tendency to kind of reject anything that does not align with these systems. They're very logical and grounded individuals who have a very realistic approach to life. They're also meticulous researchers, delving deep into logical problems and solving them. They're reserved, controlled, and tactful in communication, determined and uncompromising when it comes to trying to achieve their goals. They can come across as quite cold individuals, right? Disconnected emotionally from everyone else. Here, logic is prioritized over everything else. Everything else is simply subordinated to the logic.
You believe that story? You believe that?
He said there was something in it for me, on my own.
I've always taken care of you, Fredo. You're nothing to me now. You're not a brother. You're not a friend. I don't want to know you or what you do. I don't want to see you at the hotels. I don't want you near my house. When you see our mother, I want to know a day in advance so I won't be there.
They are quite self-disciplined and outwardly stoic, able to endure hardships, prioritizing duty over personal comfort. This is someone who also can struggle with trust issues, or distrustful of people's intentions. This is an individual who is willful and has a very good personal taste. Aesthetics, what looks beautiful, what doesn't look beautiful. Someone who lives in that moment, relies on their intellectual prowess to navigate the world.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Now, if Hyman Roth sees that I interceded in this thing in the Rosado brothers' favor, he's going to think his relationship with me is still good.
That's what I want him to think.
I want him completely relaxed and confident in our friendship. Then I'll be able to find out who the traitor in my family was.
This is the ISTP. This is the TI dominant type. Then we have the ISFP personality type. They are tactful and principled individuals who put a lot of emphasis on things like trust, ethical integrity, and loyalty.
I would have gone with you to the end, into the very fires of Mordor.
They have a very good sense of interpersonal dynamics, understanding the motivations of other people. Just like the ISTP, they are known for their aesthetical taste. This type is very common in artists. In presentation, the ISFP comes across as quite polite and controlled individual. ISFPs have a very strong moral conviction. They rarely forget anything bad happening to them or those that they love.
Aemond has been damaged permanently, my king. Goodwill cannot make him whole. There is a debt to be paid. I shall have one of her son's eyes in return. If the king will not seek justice, the queen will. What have I done but what was expected of me? Forever upholding the kingdom, the family, the law. Where is duty? Where is sacrifice?
They are people capable of holding a grudge for years, maintaining a certain air of control and integrity.
What we do for the good of the realm.
I must confess a certain uneasiness now this is at hand. He may yet live.
But we must be prepared if he does not.
We must, of course, act in the interest of our subjects.
The next Lord of the Tides will be deeply in your debt, Your Grace.
This is an individual who will endure hardships, who's gonna do the hard things to fulfill their duties, to fulfill their responsibilities, to help their loved one, to help their community, to sacrifice themselves in some type of way. This is very true of this type. Now, the ENTP is a personality defined by insatiable curiosity. They're focused on uncovering possibilities, different potential, and also ideas.
I've heard such tales roll. Great towns and cities, and treasures, hoards of gold and silver, and a new god.
I've heard those stories too. What does it mean? Can't sail across an open ocean.
I believe there's a way. to go west. I have something that will change everything.
This isn't someone who just looks at the world for what it is at its most concrete and basic level, but more so at what it can be. What can this object be? What can I turn this object into? ENTPs are often great at being innovative. They see potential in things. They like to show their abilities and capabilities. They don't want to deal with this boring shit of the daily life, kind of similar to the ENTJ. The difference is the ENTJ is going to be much more rigid in this area. The ENTP just wants you to be a little housewife. They are not people who take care of themselves very well on a physical level. They are negligent of this. Someone who is tinkering with his projects but forgetting to eat. It is unbothered and they don't really care much about it, but are very receptive if someone helps them in this area. The ENTP can also make for a good leader, great at taking effective action, making things happen quickly and effectively without hyper-fixating on the methods that have to be taken. So they will do what needs to be done in order to achieve a certain goal. The ESFP personality type thrives on asserting its willpower, navigating life through their energy, appearance and material goods. ESFPs express themselves openly, both physically as well as emotionally. They take pride in being able to influence people. So this is someone who can lead social groups and protect their loved ones with fierce loyalty. The ESFP's focus is on here and now. This is someone who, just like the ESTP, struggles with time management or even predicting future consequences.
Pimp to tie his high man on his ass now, right now.
If you go after Talia, all hell's gonna break loose. Let the smoke clear. Pop can negotiate.
No, Pop can't do nothing till he's better. I'm gonna decide what's gonna be
all right,
done
but your war's costing us a lot of money. Nothing's coming in. We can't do business.
Well, neither can they. Don't
They
worry
don't
about
have
it.
our
Please
overhead.
don't worry about
We
it.
can't afford a stalemate.
Well, then there ain't no more stalemate. I'm gonna end it by killing that old bastard. I'm gonna
Yeah, you're getting
kill
a
it.
great reputation. I hope you're enjoying
Well,
it.
you just do what I tell you to do. God damn it, if I had a wartime consigliere Sicilian, I wouldn't be in this shape.
They are not shy about expressing their personal sentiments. If they like someone, if they hate someone, and if there's a situation where there will be conflict about those things, they also don't mind. The emotional expression, like in the ENFJ, can be a bit more tempered. They can come across as even indifferent or cold and serious, or angry, dissatisfied. Any kind of emotionality that is considered negative is something that the ESFP is more prone to expressing. The ESTJ personality type has a strong commitment to work, structure and tradition, but dealing with significant challenges in the emotional realm. They are extremely perfectionistic type.
Any fucking moron can wave his arms and keep people in tempo. I was there to push people beyond what's expected of them. There are no two words in the English language more harmful than good job.
The ESTJ sees work as crucial to one's self-actualization and also self-identity. They're very methodical and focused. They have a talent for productivity, creating efficiency around them, knowing how to create aesthetically pleasing environments and spaces for them to work better or even those around them. They emphasize efficiency in taking the right action, using the right method. Their sense of order isn't just in their lifestyle, but also their personal space. They value cleanliness, they value things being on point, things looking nice, things being nice. The ESFJs are fiery and empathetic individuals, driven by strong and vibrant, fiery emotions. Their vibrant moods inspire other people, uplifting others emotionally. Their admiration for beauty fuels their zest for life. All of this emotional intensity can make them appear a bit emotionally overwhelming.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, what is this? What is this? Just when my belly is doing its business, I find you wenching with Mistress Streamles.
Sweetheart, Jane, you had best leave.
Their difficulties with time management and dealing with time, their discomfort in this area, leads them to overcommit and also make them prefer a sense of tradition. They resist change and seek stability in routines. Aesthetic and sensory experiences are central for this type. They take a lot of pride in maintaining orderly spaces, very aesthetically pleasing spaces, comfortable spaces for people physically, but also emotionally. The INTP is an intellectual personality guided by their sense of logic. They possess a very analytical mind, a mind capable of breaking down complex logical problems. They're able to discover the inner workings of those things. They're quite introspective and principled personality.
If ever you've put faith in my guidance, hear me now. I've seen nations destroyed by a single seed, and it looked exactly like this.
Professor, this could save Victor's life.
Victor, something's different. You've changed. What did you do?
What do you mean, Professor?
It's that thing. It must be destroyed.
They greatly value fairness, and they can even be devoted to certain ideals, such as, improving systems around them. They're reserved people with sharp intellect and a very methodical approach to work. At times, they can come across as a bit awkward, but they are very receptive to emotional influence. With the INTP, we can also observe a certain rigidity in how they perceive the material world, resources, and how resources are used, their own sense of appearance, beauty, and willpower. Now, the ENFP is a charismatic personality driven by creativity. They excel in spontaneous environments, preferring to improvise rather than rigidly sticking to a methodical plan. They like to show off their abilities, their capabilities, and even their own personality.
You ever hear the one-legged man in the ass-kicking contest?
Do you have off switch?
Yeah, it's right next to the prostate. Or is that the on switch?
When it comes to their presentation, they can come across as quite chaotic individuals. This is someone who is able to see potential in situations, in people. This individual can be focused on self-expression, different ways of self-expression. This art, literature, anything like this. So while they are very charming and charismatic individuals who are able to influence people very well, this doesn't have to be used for good. Their ability to impact people can be good or it can be bad. It simply depends on the ENFP in question.
Them, you're just a freak. Like me. They need you right now. But when they don't, they'll cast you out. See, their morals, their code, it's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
Now, the INTJ is introspective, insightful, and intellectually profound person.
Do you believe in fate, Doctor? Our paths carved before us, guided by an invisible hand. Evolution has a destination, not to combat nature, but to supersede it.
They are immersed in their own internal world. This is someone whose best ability is to manage time, manage their own time, as well as time of other people. They have a keen understanding of how events will unfold. All of this is done for careful observation.
This is the plan. I mean, sure, a few curveballs, but we got here. Just had to keep a few bits to myself. Newman would have been a shit patsy, stubborn, too many ideas, so I went another way.
So this is someone who can tell you and even outline what actions should be taken in order for you to get a certain outcome in the future. Outwardly, they don't really express much emotion. They don't want to express those very strong, over-the-top emotions because they feel it's inappropriate. When it comes to their emotions, they also don't want when people will pry into their emotional state. Now, their insights are quite blunt, can at times even seem cynical. There are some issues with, again, being very detached, being very passive. They are often neglecting the physical surrounding world. Now, the ESTP is an action-oriented individual, driven by an intense awareness of the physical world. We have someone who has a need to interact with the physical world, with the tangible world. They do it assertively and directly. ESTPs are fiercely territorial, protective of their space, and they can be quite individualistic. They thrive on movement, action, and decisiveness, often showing great determination when it comes to achieving their goals. The ESTP struggles with emotional vulnerability, with emotional exposure.
Why did you do it?
Because you weakened me.
I couldn't endure the look in your eyes whenever I made the decisions, the necessary decisions to keep us safe.
Someone who has a hard time understanding or reading the emotional atmosphere. Someone who has a hard time reading people's emotions and having a hard time to adapt to those emotions. But ESTPs are amazing at taking effective action in the moment, what can be done now and how we can create change. Very decisive and effective individual with a good grasp on logical systems, knowing how to exploit certain positions in hierarchy, in systems. How can you utilize people by putting them in specific roles?
Your absence provided a vacuum I was able to fill. In other circumstances, I might have offered you a position in my organization. Your resilience is undeniable.
How can you manipulate those roles and positions to get more power, to get more material goods, to get more satisfaction, whatever their goal might be?
Trust you have terms.
You will serve me. My enemies will be yours. Your weapons will be mine. In return, I will supply all your needs. You will be treated as an esteemed advisor, but I demand absolute loyalty.
The ENFJ is a very emotionally driven individual, viewing their world through a very dramatic lens. The ENFJ often is perceived as almost a mystical person, someone who, just like the ENTJ, is not focused on the mundane world. They're focused on their visions, they're focused on warning people of the future. What are the negative consequences that can happen?
The moment has come to share my vision of the future that awaits if we do not rise up, take our rightful place in the world.
They view the world through a lens of fate and inevitable struggles. They're quite strategic and responsible. They care for others through emotional support, but it's often conveyed in dramatic stories. The ENFJ can often come across as a bit distant, prideful, and even arrogant. While they are very emotional people, they are often rigid and self-restrained. Their emotionality tends to be more melancholic, more dramatic, rather than just hyper-vibrant and very, expressive.
They say that great beasts once roamed this world, as big as mountains. Yet all that's left of them is bone and amber. Time undoes even the mightiest of creatures. Just look what it's done to you. One day, you will perish. You will lie with the rest of your kind in the dirt. Your dreams forgotten, your horrors effaced. Your bones will turn to sand. And upon that sand, a new God will walk. Because this world doesn't belong to you. It belongs to someone who is yet to come.
Now, the INFJ personality type is very romantic and introspective, guided by dreams of a better future and sensitivity to emotions. Just like the INTJ, this individual struggles with taking action, living in the moment. They're very passive and they value reflection over action, observing the world with deep emotional nuance, while also maintaining a certain detached attitude. The emotional expression is quite intentional and thoughtful. They are great at impacting the emotional atmosphere of their environment. If they want you to feel something, they'll make you feel something. This is not someone who's rigid, conscientious, or hyper-organized, but rather even can be easygoing and can be very adaptable, going with the flow. Now, INFPs are generally empathetic individuals. Outwardly, they can come across as a bit rigid and reserved. They have a very good understanding of their own feelings, but also how do they feel about specific things? Who do they love? Who do they dislike? Who do they want to be close to? They have a good understanding of the motivations that lie behind people's actions. What does this person want? Why do they want this?
I'm sorry that I left.
You think I'd give a shit?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you're pissed that MM and I both left.
MM was a bit of a loss. You, not so much.
It's okay to stop, to move on. She would have wanted you to.
Those people are fixated on seeing the good in humanity. So it's someone who always sees potential goodness in someone else, in someone else's personality. They're able to adjust to people's emotional states, to be of emotional support, to help them. But at worst, they can come across as judgmental, overly moralistic, and even conflict avoidant. This is someone who, at the end of the day, prioritizes their interpersonal relationships, Now the INFP can be sensitive to criticism when it comes to their willpower, when it comes to their energy, and also their appearance, if they're beautiful or if they're not beautiful. The ISTJ personality comes across as very calm and composed, known for their quiet endurance and very efficient approach to tasks. They're very methodical and economical in their lifestyle. True minimalists, achieving results with minimal effort. Great at saving their own energy. Rarely ever overextending themselves unless it is necessary. The ISTJs, just like the INTJs, are also emotionally restrained. They're not prone to emotional outbursts, and in fact, if they ever would have one, they would be ashamed. This is someone who values practicality, efficiency, and comfort. They know what feels good. They know what makes them feel good. They are able to create an environment that allows them to feel good. Now, the ISFJ can come across as a friendly and grounded individual. They can be prone to masking their anxieties and worries with smile or happy facade, as if nothing bad is happening. Everything is fine. Everything is okay. They dislike imposing themselves on other people. They're very good at recreating certain emotional atmospheres for people to feel comfortable in. They can be conflict avoidant and very self-forgetful. Just like the ISTJ, losing themselves in routine, in what feels comfortable, what is familiar. Now, the ENTJ is a dynamic and very optimistic personality type, focused on creating a better future for everyone involved. They are very skilled organizers and planners, working to improve the efficiency of their own and other people's lives or tasks.
We can now design portable devices. The gemstone can power virtually anything. The Atlas gauntlets. The mining colonies and the fissures can work faster and without fatigue. I want Hex Tech to be a tool for us to build a new world. And now, it's finally possible.
They tend to avoid negative emotional atmospheres, and there's a lot of struggle when it comes to their interpersonal relationships. Who they love, who they should be close to, and who they should be avoid, because maybe that person is not a good person. Their focus on the future drives their idealism, often leading to bold decisions and innovative contributions.
Shimmer is rampant in the Undercity, attacks at the Hex Gates and in the Academy Square. Enforcers fear to set foot in the lanes. All under your watch. I'm sorry, Professor, but healing this city will take more than just speeches. Time and again, you've warned us what not to do. But let me ask you this. What's your plan to fix this?
I see what this is about. Your Hex Tech projects need more time, more safeguards.
Humans don't live for centuries. We can't wait for progress. We need a leadership focused on the future, not the past.
The ENTJ is driven by a vision of a better future. They hate being tied down by the mundane world, by the practical, boring world. Chores, what to do, how do I do this, taking care of yourself. This is something that doesn't come easy to the ENTJ, and he'd rather prioritize his future projects than circle jerk how to do laundry every day. Anyway guys, so that's it from me for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like, subscribe, comment, make the fucking comment section bounce. Let's go crazy on it, guys. Do it anyway. I'm out, I'm Chaos, and I'm bouncing.